Hey everybody, this is David Bump again. I just figured I would show you guys my 3 kicker comp bars and the Mechman high output alternator I got. This is a 2006 Ford Taurus. I made a video not too long ago, and it was on this Ford Taurus here. Believe it or not, the dealership actually wrecked that one, and they gave me a small settlement. Well, the insurance company paid for it, and then I got a little bit more just for the inconvenience. But I got another one, a year newer, less miles. But anyway, so the juicy stuff. I got 3 kicker comp R's. The one in the center looks different. They're the same speakers. It's just it's the newer model, but they're the same power ratings. I notice, you know, the diaphragm, whatever you want to call it, is a little bit softer than the older ones, but it seems like it has more excursion. It seems like it, you know, it just seems like it handles the power a little bit better, but they're the same woofer, really. Like I said, they have the same power ratings. But anyway, so I got those. They're rated at 500 RMS each. A little bit of water right there. By the way, shout out to Mike Stockna for the box. He made this box for me. And anybody, if you got a Taurus, I'm also just here to let you know, you can get a Mechman high output alternator, and it does, you know, it will work in your car. You don't have to be worried. I was concerned because they didn't show a picture of it on their website, and so I didn't know if they could actually make it for this car or not, but they do. And just so you know, it is 49 inches from hinge right here to hinge, and that is just enough room for these subwoofers to fit. So you can fit 312s in your Taurus, just so you know. So that's that. I shouldn't have showed you my license plate. You know, that's a no-go. But anyway, I'll block that or something. But anyway, so this is the Mechman alternator right here. It's a little dirty. I've actually had it for a while now. I've been meaning to make this video. I mean, it was a little, you know, it was last year, I think. And that poor car right there is destroyed. They rolled it. They actually rolled it. So yeah, I mean, I got the big 3 upgrade. Engine block. Got down to the engine block. There's ground right there. Ground there from the alternator. Then the big 0 to that, and this distributes it to the back battery, to the rear battery. I know it's not the prettiest, but it's function over, you know, looks, I guess. But I mean, it doesn't look horrible. The wiring in the back here looks horrible, though. I would like to make it pretty, but it's all wired up solid, though. So that's what really matters. I'm going to show you. So I got these are 2 Orion amplifiers for the subwoofers. Again, I apologize for the wire. The wire does look horrible, but this right here, I love 2 channels. I love ABs. They're old school. They get hot. I like them. It doesn't overheat on me. I mean, it does get hot, but it's only went into protection once, and it was on a really hot day when I was banging it, and it was kind of covered up with equipment I had in the car. But this one here is, in fact, actually, it's Class AB 2 channel. I think it's like 1300 watts RMS. They're CEA rated. Orion makes like the best amplifiers, man. They just have a wide selection. I'm not gonna say they make the best amps, but they have a really wide selection. And these are the stats on this one here. RMS watts right there. I'm running at 2 ohms. So about, you know, 675 watts. I'm not maxed out on it, but, you know. And what I like is I mean, most of your sub amps only play up to 200 hertz, and but I mean, most of your subwoofers only take 200 hertz. However, these kicker comp bars will play up to 500 hertz. So if you don't have any, you know, mid-range or anything, I do have 6x8s all the way around with another amp powering them, but I don't have any, you know, like 8-inch, you know, mid-ranges or anything like that. So I just put my subs all the way up to 500 hertz, let that AB crank out 500 hertz, you know, to them, and so I get a little bit more range with bass and mid-range with the woofers. And so that's that. And then the other amp back there is a mono block for the center subwoofer, and that is at 2 ohms as well. They're both at 2 ohms. And this is this one here. This one plays up to 400 hertz with a frequency response, and about 750 watts to the center sub. Obviously it's not turned up. I matched them pretty well. They're pretty close. I mean, the 2 on the outside are the same, obviously, because they're on the same amp, but the only one on a separate channel is the center one, which is on the mono block. But it sounds really good. The amps, you cannot go wrong with them. I mean, they're amazing amps. I love Orion. I've had so many different amps now. I got rid of the Hyphonics I had prior, which I loved it, by the way. I really didn't want to get rid of it. And this is actually like, you know, 600 watts less than the Hyphonics, and it sounds just as good, if not better, than the Hyphonics did. And that's for the door speakers. That's a Pioneer, great amp. It's only like $100, but it puts out awesome power to the 6x8s I got in here. And this is just a cheap, like $50 battery I got from Walmart, but it's nice because it's got all the hookups, and you can see it's got it's got your regular battery terminal here, and it's got a post, so you can add a lot of stuff to it. It's actually meant for RVs. It's meant for RVs, it says on it, but marine and RV. But yeah, I mean, it's a great way to go. Just give you easier hookups. I got 2 grounds on the well, I got like 4 grounds, including the ones up front, but there's 2 grounds here. There's one of them is the power from the alternator, and then the other 2 fat ones on the bottom are on the chassis under the seat here, bolted down. And yeah, I know the wires mess again, but these amps are amazing. You can't go wrong with Orion amps. And these are the Cobalts, neither. They're not even the XTRs. They're not the Extreme or anything like that, but I mean, they romp. Again, it's less wattage. I had the Alpine Type Rs, and I mean, this is less wattage, but it just sounds so good. I love the wide frequency response and the range, and I like sealed. That's why I went triple. I know the ported booms a little bit more, and I wanted more boom, but at the same time, I like the precise, the precise, clean sound of a sealed box, and so I just went with a triple sealed, and so that's that. And let's see what I got in here. I usually use my Bluetooth on the phone for the audio, or I use a CD because CD sounds good, or an iPod. The auxiliary can sound good, I guess, but I got the Kenwood. Same in the other car. Love this deck. I mean, you can turn it all the way up to 35 and there's really no distortion. Yeah, good old Ford Taurus. So you guys know, any of you Taurus owners, you can put a Mechman alternator in here. The pulley on it is a little bit smaller. You'll need, okay, that's another thing. You'll need a smaller belt. The belt is just 1 inch smaller. That's all you need, and it'll fit on there. In fact, the stock belt will work. It might squeal a little bit when you go to turn. If you're at a standstill, it might squeal a little bit, but it will work. I think it's from a Crown Vic. Just look for a belt that's 1 inch shorter, and it'll tighten it right back up, and it puts out a lot more. And as you can see, I got the voltage right here. I like to keep an eye on that. The stock alternator went right down in the tubes. It started getting 12s, but I romped this, man, and I never go down to 12 volts. It's always at 13 plus. It's usually at like between 13.7 and 14.5. It's always in there. And so she's always putting the power down. Love these cars, love the Taurus. And I got to put the back seat back in. As you can see, the back seat's not in there. The back seat in this one didn't fold down like in the other Taurus, and so I had to tear the seat out of this one, and I'm going to take the seat from the other Taurus and put it in here because it does fold down. I like to fold my seats down when I'm bumping. And I'd like to give you guys a nice little demo, some sound. However, I know, I mean, I could play it, but obviously recorded sound doesn't do the system any justice. But, I mean, it rips, man. It definitely rips. No doubt about it. So here we go. This is Chris Webby and Jitta on the track. Love Chris Webby. Listen to a lot of his music. Anybody who knows me knows I listen to a lot of Chris Webby. I listen to a lot of stuff. I listen to any kind of music, but, stuff that bumps is a plus.
Yeah, we drinking, it's the weekend. What you thinking? And I want what you want to get fucked up and take a whip with a ball. Let's party all night. I don't wanna sleep, I just wanna party.
This song right here isn't really all that bumping, but you guys get the picture. If I had my work lanyard here, you guys would see the vibrations for sure. But I mean, this system rips. Like I said, I mean, you saw in the other video that Hyphonics ripped, but I like these better. I mean, they're less watts with the 2, but with the third, it kind of puts it back up there. But it sounds great. It rips more than you'd ever want. And that's that. Alrighty, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry I ramble on a little bit, but that's all. Alrighty, guys, I'm out.